Hello, my name is Aaron Bass. I'm CEO for EastSide Charter School. I want to say thank you to Norman Oliver and also to Xanthia Oliver for this opportunity. I was asked to talk about some great news taking place here in Delaware, and so we'll talk about EastSide Charter School. EastSide Charter School is the oldest elementary charter school in the entire state of Delaware. We have been here for some time and had some great success over the time, even before I got here. I'm excited to talk about the fact that our current children, when comparing similar demographics, outperform every district but one in math and English. Our Apex Honors Program, our students there outperformed every district in the state in math and English, and our students in just a short amount of time, 3 years, have earned over $1 million in scholarship and opportunities at some of the top schools in the state of Delaware. Eastside is unique because, one, I'm a parent. I work as a leader of the school, but the best thing that anybody's ever called me at Eastside is dad. And so my son graduated. My daughter is currently in 7th grade, and she'll be joining us today, as well as seeing so many of the staff that have brought their children to the school. You are welcome to learn more about Eastside Charter at eastsidecharterschool.org. We're kindergarten through 8th grade. Our program for our honors program is Apex. It is 5th through 8th grade, and you can also check that out at our website. And come see the school, meet the people. One of the greatest things we're doing is building a STEM hub, the Chemours STEM hub, at Eastside Charter School. That's important to us because we decided that we wanted to get our partners like Chemours, Barclays, NASA, Westside Family Services, Nemours, DETV, Code Differently. My own son is also part of Code Differently and First Aid Gaming and many others to decide to locate in one spot and share their resources with young people and with adults. So students can learn about robotics and about coding, and adults can come to the same building anywhere in the state of Delaware, can come to the Chemours STEM Hub and learn about careers at our community partners, at our corporate partners, and also have job opportunities there. We are excited about the work that's already taking place at Eastside Charter School, and I got to tell you, the future is even brighter. With that, we're going to start the show, Community Crossfire. Again, I'm Aaron Bass, your host, and so thankful and appreciative for this moment. I have some guests today that will be helping me talk about what we're doing. And so first I have Autumn, who's going to talk about her work with Code Differently.
Yes. How are you, Erin?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Erin and I are friends outside of this, but we're going to keep it professional. So my name is Autumn Tuxward, and I'm the Director of People, Culture, and Operations at Code Differently. My job there now is, as the title shows, I do a lot of things, right? But a huge part of that is really working to create partnerships, which is exactly what we want to talk about today, right? Is our partnership with Eastside Charter and the amazing things that we are about to embark on. So I'm excited about that. You gonna let me?
So let's dig into it. What does Code Differently do? Tell us about that.
So we are very intentional about creating opportunities to give skill sets, a technology skill set, right? First of all, to everyone, but certainly to women, people of color, just marginalized communities who maybe STEM or technology coding programming may not have been something that they were exposed to or something that they were aware of. And so we take you from 9th grade, which is about 14 years old, all the way to 150, right? There's no cutoff. And we give you the opportunity to learn how to code and to get these skills. And then we have a workforce component, which helps to pipeline people into jobs, right? And essentially like change your life, right? Because tech is in everything. It's across every industry. There is nothing that is happening out there right now that does not involve tech. I don't care if you want to be a farmer, if you want to go into healthcare, law enforcement, medicine, tech is a part of that. And so this is really about getting a skill that prepares you for any and everything that you want to do.
Which is a perfect segue into why you're here today and talking about the partnership with the Eastside Chemours STEM Hub. And so what's taking place is that we are in partnership with Barclays, NASA, Code Differently, with University of Delaware, with a number of different organizations focused on how we can provide STEM opportunities for youth and adults. And so that includes everything from inspiring young people to engage in robotics and also in learning about space and engineering, and then working with adults to make sure that they have training, their internships, and then also job opportunities all in one space. We're happy to partner with Chemours and many others to make this thing happen. And so Code Differently was a perfect partner for this, because you're already doing this.
We're already
work.
doing it right here in Wilmington. And plug to the EastSide Charter and to you, Erin. You have been someone that has been very intentional about community partnerships for as long as I've known you. I mean, that's exactly how we met during the pandemic. And so at that time I was with the county, and EastSide Charter was a location for COVID testing and vaccinations. So, I mean, making sure that the Eastside, making sure that Wilmington, making sure that every community, right, because it's an equity thing as well, making sure that all of these resources and opportunities are available to your kids, their families, and we are happy to be a part of that. So this is exciting. And I think it's going to be just like amazing. It's just going to be amazing.
So I want to dig into that, because
Okay.
that is amazing. That is how we first met. And
Yeah.
so Eastside was one of the many different places that was
Yes.
used for COVID testing during the start of the pandemic and during the COVID pandemic. We were asked to do it because the state and the county were trying to figure out, how do we get more people
Yes.
to come do COVID testing.
Absolutely.
And so I remember there were sites that were getting few people, because people didn't know what was COVID and what could take place with COVID. And then we started doing COVID testing, and the last numbers I was seeing was that we were testing up to 1,000 people in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right on Eastside's parking lot,
Campus.
right on the campus. And
Yeah.
what's beautiful about that was we realized we were a community center.
Absolutely.
And so people were coming from all over, which then inspired us to say, if we're doing this,
What
then
else can you do?
What else can we do? And so the need happens to be in STEM, the need happens to be in job opportunities,
Yes.
the need happens to be in our area to make sure that everyone has access.
Absolutely.
And so Chemours joined on with us with a number of other partners to build the Chemours STEM Hub at Eastside. And I want to talk with my other guest right here. And so, Peri, if you could tell us about yourself.
Hey there. How you guys doing? My name is Peri Hutt. I am a Barclays employee, but I am also a parent of a former Apex Honor student. So my daughter London was one of the students in the pilot program, and when we learned about it through Fame's summer closing ceremonies, and it was one of those things like, okay, this is a new program. I was going around like crazy. That middle school process is ridiculous. So was trying to find a good place for her, because I know she was a good student, and I just wanted to make sure that she was in a safe environment where she was going to thrive. So in walks Eastside, and I already knew Mr. Bass from mentoring through Barclays at Eastside, so I already had that established relationship. So it was kind of like when I spoke to him about it, it was just like, okay, I feel like this is something good. I feel like this is something that I want to be a part of. So we went to like an information session, got additional information, and let me just tell you, the rest is history. London was there from 6th through 8th grade. She thrived academically. Personally, she was a bit introverted, but through the program, the friendships that she made, as well as just like she held offices in student government, things I never thought she would do. So she really blossomed at Eastside, and I commend the staff as well as the educators at Eastside for that.
So it is amazing to have you be here as one, a parent a volunteer that then became a parent after mentoring, and then continue to volunteer. And so you've been involved with the community. I have to commend Barclays on 20 plus years of mentoring. Eastside that's great.
That is. That's a commitment.
Eastside is we're the oldest elementary charter in the entire state of Delaware.
Stop it.
Wow.
Oldest elementary charter, and we've been doing work even before I even came here. And so I have to just applaud a lot of the leadership before me. But what's key is that Barclays started investing in mentoring and then decided to invest in the physical plan of Eastside. And so Barclays was able to redo our backyard and engage with the community, Barclays continued to even engage with our STEM hub. And so we're now doing 40,000 square feet of just STEM facilities in Riverside, in Delaware, that anybody can access. And Barclays decided that we're going to help with job development. We're going to help with making sure that young people have access to leaders like you. And tell us what's the latest project you're doing. So you decided that you wanted to support educators. And there's many people that are, we just did a book bag drive. A lot of people doing book bag drives. We have a lot of people working with young people, but you asked a question that I thought was different than a lot of other people. And you said to me, what do you need?
Yes, and I think that sometimes that question gets missed. I think oftentimes we think, okay, well, the kids are going back to school. They naturally need book bags. Right. But we look all over and we're like, okay, everybody's doing a book bag drive. Right. So I kind of presented 3 different ideas to Erin. I was just like, and then at the end, I posed that question, like, what do you need? We want to support you. So essentially, that is the most important thing, not the fact that, okay, in our minds, we wanted to do a book bag drive and it was kind of a take it or leave it. Through our partnership and, through that energy, we were able to say, hey, that really isn't a need. And then the other thing that we were thinking about was a hoodie and hair care drive. And he's just like, oh, that might be, because the kids are kind of finicky, when it comes to certain things. So, okay, so then it was kind of like, well, I was thinking about this other idea, like adopt a classroom. Like maybe will we support the teachers so that they in turn can support the students better. So I am the co-chair of the developmental pillar at Barclays for our Black Professionals Resource Group. My other co-chair, her name is Carrie Edwards. Shout out to Carrie. She is awesome. And the two of us, we kind of put our heads together. And I said, well, I'm going to call Erin and see if there is an appetite for such a thing. So, he and I spoke, and then this idea of the Barclays Adopt a Classroom was kind of birthed from that conversation. And, we've kind of been working with him on a daily basis just to kind of blow it up and make it make it the best it can be. Because at the end of the day, EastSide, like you said, is a hub within the community. We want to support the community as well as our students and our educators.
And so we love what's been taking place, because we have people who are spending thousands of dollars, educators all across Delaware, across America, go into their own pockets. And they have to figure out, well, how do I find the right protractor? How can I make sure my border or my boards look great? I want a child to feel valued. And we have teachers that are going in debt every year, and we do not pay educators enough. And so I can't say that enough.
That's the facts.
And if we're so inspired that you as a parent and as a leader say, well, you know what, let me ask the teachers what they want, and then we're going to fund every educator at EastSide.
Yeah.
Today is about good news. We want to share some good news. And so having our community support like this means a lot to us. And so on behalf of all the educators at EastSide, and even more so, I'd love this to be something that other people are taking and saying, well, how can I support X school?
Absolutely.
How can I help in Kent County and Sussex and Newcastle, and that this be something that people do? And we've seen people do it. There are influencers on media that do things like this, but it means a lot when our own community steps up and says, let me take on that mantle. And our educators are excited about this, and our students will be as well. So thank you.
And if I could plug my sorority, Sigma Gamma Rho Incorporated, we also do have a national program called Operation Big Book Bag, in which we do support the community. And actually, I'm part of Delta Tau Sigma out of Dover, so we do support the Kent and Sussex counties in terms of with book bags and school supplies. So I'm getting it all around here.
That's awesome.
We are involved, and we are trying to do things within the community. So we are here to support. So thank you.
Erin, I'm just going to say, Erin, before you kick us out, because I know we're getting close. Before you kick us out, I just want to say this. One, this just shows the power of Delaware and partnerships, because everybody is great in their own lane, but when we come together, look how much stuff we can get done. So there's that. The second thing is that Code Differently currently is we do have cohorts that are opening up right now for anybody who is interested. If you're unemployed, underemployed, looking for a new opportunity, we are taking applications now. You can go to codedifferently.com and put your application in. So Come and see us, whether it's where we are now at 1200 North French Street or whether it's going to be at EastSide Charter.
STEM hub.
Come see us.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I want to say thank you
That's
to my
awesome.
guests. Definitely check out the Chemours STEM Hub at Eastside. It'll be opening in the fall of 2024. And so we're so excited about this project and also for all of our supporters. And we'll share some more information. Check out this video. Tell me what you think, and we'll come right back. In 8th grade, I was given a scholarship to a private school in Philadelphia, and it changed my life. There's nothing unique or special that only a few children deserve an incredible education versus others. We created Apex out of that experience. I wanted to make sure that anybody that had the full potential to take on honors classes and be in advanced work and really wants to apply themselves, and parents that are equally ambitious and want the best for their children, we wanted Apex to speak to that need. Apex started with partnerships we had established with our private school partners. We were seeing that our students that were heading off to these private schools weren't performing as well. And so we decided to build a stronger partnership, and now we have 4 independent schools, Sanford, Tower Hill, Tatnall, and Wilmington Friends, that our students take classes there on a monthly basis and also get additional support at Eastside to make sure that our students are admissible to any of the top schools in the state of Delaware.
Some families are under the impression that private school costs too much, so they can't come to a private school, and most private schools now have financial aid, and we have doubled our financial aid over the last 7 years. Students ought to be able to have a great education regardless of their family's ability to pay.
I think the APEX program really caters to its students. All you have to focus on is the academic part. You don't have to focus on the money. You just have to focus on time management, organization, and just talking to your teachers, because everyone is very open. It's just a good community where you can feel open about anything that you're struggling with.
The students take advanced courses to make sure those hard skills in English and math and in science and social studies are there. Our students also get a chance to learn and experience different cultures through our foreign language program and also culture studies.
Without the APEX program, I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am today, and I'm incredibly grateful that I did join it. I wouldn't be at Tower Hill without it.
My granddaughter attends Apex. She's in the 5th grade. This is the first school that she has told me that she actually loved. If I can encourage any other families to give Apex a consideration, that would be marvelous.
So the reason I'm happy that my own 2 children are in Apex, as well as many other children that have come now, and also those that are still coming, is because everyone deserves access to the best education possible.
Revenge!
Welcome back to Community Crossfire. I'm Erin Bass, and I'm so excited to be here to talk with some of our students from the Apex program. Apex is an honors program. It is unique in that it's the only one that partners with private schools. And so our friends are Wilmington Friends, Tower Hill, and also Sanford. Our students take classes there during the school year, also have advanced courses right now at Eastside at the Teen Warehouse. With their own teachers, as well as a number of other clubs and activities that take place. The program has had students go off to the top schools in the state of Delaware. In the last 3 years, they've earned over $1 million in scholarships and financial aid, and we are so proud of what's taking place with our students. Today, I'm joined by 3 students from the current Apex program to talk about what is Apex, what they're learning from that, some of their activities that take place, and then also how they're being prepared for the future. And with that, I'll start with Paris. So Paris, talk to me, sir. What grade are you in at Apex right now?
Right now, I'm in 8th grade.
In 8th grade?
Going into 8th grade.
Perfect. So you're about to
this
go
year.
off to high school. This is a big year for you. You are focusing on different high school options. How do you feel getting ready for your last year being a senior at an honors program?
Honestly, I feel ready. I feel I really just want to push through it do my best and get it over with.
I love it. So we'll go to Alena. So Alena, talk to me. What grade are you currently in?
I'm currently going to 7th grade.
7th grade at Apex. And what is your favorite part about Apex?
Apex, I love that Apex really pushes me to get to my goals. They put a lot of rewards that motivate us, all the students. It really helps us to keep pushing.
Love it. And we'll talk to Erin, who 100% relation, my own daughter. So one thing I just got to cheese. When you're looking for a school, you want to find a place that people who are employed at the school, the staff, the leaders, can have their own children go to school. So I know I've embarrassed her. So with that, my own daughter, Erin, talk to me. What grade are you going to?
I am currently about to go to 7th grade.
7th grade. And what are some of the classes you take at Apex in the honors program?
We currently take Mandarin, social studies. We also have clubs and basically everything else that you would take.
Perfect. So you're Mandarin. It's amazing. My daughter is somebody who, along with other students, have been learning about Chinese culture and also learning the language. Again, the focus to prepare students for the 21st century. And one of the key languages of many is Mandarin. We wanted to make sure that students had a different perspective. On top of different perspectives, you all have had a chance to meet tons of different people. And so who are some of the people that you've had a chance to just either meet with or have conversations with that some of our viewing guests might know?
Kwame Alexander.
Kwame Alexander. So Kwame Alexander is an amazing author who wrote Crossover that just became a TV series with LeBron James, amongst many other people. So you guys got a chance to meet with him. Jason Reynolds. I saw that you all got a chance to meet with Jason Reynolds. What movie did he create?
He created the book for Miles Morales,
which became Spider-Man. And so Miles Morales, Spider-Man, you guys met the person that wrote that along with Stamped, and he also worked on many other books, an amazing author. And then who are some of the other famous people that you guys have had a chance to meet with?
We got to meet, we got to meet Joe Biden.
So President Joe Biden, that was at the White House, and so that's pretty cool. And then also got a chance to meet with Senator Coons, Senator Carper, and our Representative Lisa Blunt Rochester. And so you guys have had a chance to meet with some amazing people. I also know that you're being taught, there's a journalism course right now. And so the journalism course is being taught by who? Who can tell me who?
Chris Barish.
Chris Barish, who happens to work for a news agency, which I won't say on DETV, but a very famous and national news agency, which is amazing, that you're meeting with practitioners. You guys are talking with people that are leading in the industry. That's important. Why do you think that is needed for preparing you for your future? Why is it important to meet, cool to meet the president? It's cool to meet with people, our elected leaders. It's cool to meet with writers. But how does that prepare you for your future?
It prepares us so that we can think of what we can become in the future, like what career we want to choose, or just for them to share our story to get some knowledge about their lives and their experiences.
That's a good answer. Paris, as you're preparing for high school, tell me, do you think that you are in an environment that is preparing you for the high school options you're looking for? So,
yes, I'd like to say that Apex has given me loads of opportunities compared to my other schools. Being in the honors program is an honor within itself.
It's amazing. And then are you guys in classes with 100 of the people? So every class has 100 students in each classroom, right? Is that the case, Alena?
No, so basically the classes, they're small, which really gives us a chance to get one-on-one time with the teacher more. And it helps each student, because there's not as many children to always help. So it's easier when there's less of us.
That's amazing. you all have a lot going for you. So just some interesting things about Apex. Apex students have actually outperformed every district in the state of Delaware in math and in English. And so we've got our data back from SBAC and saw that our students were outperforming every district in the entire state. Apex students are also growing at a very fast rate, and so we saw that even 17 percentage points growth for students. And so what's amazing is that our students in Apex, what you guys are doing is when you're coming into school, you are coming in as honor students and you're getting even better. And that is amazing because we want to see that when our students head off to different high schools and colleges and take on the world, they've gotten better as a result of being here. And so I did make my own daughter. I outed her and talked about the fact that my daughter's here. Paris, tell us, who is your father?
My father is Paris Parker. He's the gym teacher at EastSide Charter.
And so your father works at EastSide, has you in the honors program at EastSide, the Apex program. What do you think about that? Is that normal that people just happen to work at a place and their children go to the same school, do you think?
Not too normal, but I think.
Okay. And then do you think that that means your father cares about the work that he's doing when he brings you to his own school?
Of course. I do think he really tried to help out at that point, bringing me to the school, kind of.
That's amazing. So you guys get a chance to go off and visit different private schools, and you get peers at those private schools. You get a chance to talk to them. So Erin, when you walk into, tell me about one of the private schools you went to. What's something you liked about visiting those private schools?
We went to Sanford for the entire year with my house.
And what's a house?
Crumpler house. Oh, so it's these groups that they separate everybody into. My house, it's Crumpler House Big C. So basically, we went to Sanford for the year. I really enjoyed the different classes. I like the French teacher.
Oh, and then how are the campuses? What do they look like when you walk into a campus like Sanford?
Ginormous.
Ginormous campuses. Love it. And then who went to a different school?
I went to Wilmington Friends.
Wilmington Friends. So tell me about Wilmington Friends. What was that like?
It was really nice. I like sitting in one of the classes because it felt like very professional, you know.
I like that. And it actually, interesting note, the person who is in charge of Wilmington Friends, the head of school there, is Ken Aldridge. Ken Aldridge, a long time ago, was a teacher at my school in Philadelphia. So he was one of my teachers at Germantown Friends School, and it's been amazing that when we brought Apex, he was one of the first people I talked to and said, hey, I want to make sure that we can provide an incredible opportunity to young people in Delaware. Will you sign on? Will you partner with EastSide Charter School? And so Wilmington Friends, Ken Aldridge jumped on it, the opportunity, and so we're so glad for that. And so you got a chance to go to Wilmington Friends School. Again, how does that campus look? Is it small? Is it just one room?
It's very big. It's like, there's so much to get around to. It's like so many places, so many classes. It's very complicated, but I feel like if you go there, you'll know like where to go. Yeah.
I love it. And then do you think that going to an independent school like Sanford or like Wilmington Friends or like Tower Hill, do you think that being in that environment can change how you act in school? Do you think that has, it makes you do something different? What do you think?
Yeah, it can really help you to, like, if you choose to go to one of the schools, it can help you know how they teach there, and it can help you really prepare, because if you're going there earlier and sitting on the classes and seeing everything, it really helps you prepare to when you're actually going to go there. It helps you know everything about it.
All right, so this is a unique opportunity. Do you think this happens at other schools? You to spend time with students, they come out to our schools, you go out to their schools. Is that a normal thing? Parents, did that happen in your old school? You got a chance to work with other schools all the time?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I think this is very special.
Who is your favorite teacher? So we'll go with you, Paris. Who's your favorite teacher and why?
My favorite teacher is Miss Williams, our math teacher. She always drove me to work hard. She's always pushed me to my limits and told me to go beyond my boundaries.
Love it. Alena, who's your favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher is Mrs. Hubbard. She, like Peri said, they always push us to our goals. And she's also very supportive in anything.
Love it. Erin.
I don't really have a favorite
Because
teacher.
they're all your favorite teachers, so everyone is equally favored. So if you had to name one, who might you?
Mr. Brodo, I guess.
And why? Why is that?
Because he always pushes me to try my best, and he has 1 extra credit.
So, again, Apex Honors Program is at EastSide Charter School. You can find out more about the program at eastsidecharterschool.org. You'll also get a chance to look at some of the videos and clips that we're sharing in between each of these segments, so you can actually see the students in their classrooms. Come learn more about it. 5th through 8th grade is our honors program. You're welcome to sign on up. Come out and visit, see what's going on. Meet with Stan Babowski, who's our leader of the Apex program, and all the incredible staff that are there. Also learn more about EastSide Charter School. And with that, we'll take a small break. Thank you. EastSide's a unique place where, one, a student can come and we focus, our first question for them is, what do you want to be? Our conversation is not about students just doing test scores or students just doing anything. Our conversation is, what do you want to be? And then we try to make sure that we bring the programming and excellence in education and incredible family environment to make sure that child can actualize and can become what they want to be.
As a parent, you're kind of hyper-focused on making sure, yes, they get the education, but that social piece is really important, and it's here. So I call EastSide the triple threat, because your family, you're going to be ready for whatever school you're going into, and they're going to get you socially prepared to be a successful citizen.
The learning is very interactive, they're very hands-on. They do lots of fun experiments and things to kind of bring the education to life, so it's not all books. They do a lot of things in terms of collaboration. They have different seating and different setup just to kind of encourage learning and kind of like an open platform.
EastSide's a great place where our staff are also our parents. I am one of the many people who work here who believe so much in the work that we do that when I had to find a school for my own child, I brought my son to EastSide Charter.
When we, shut down and everything like that, we had to go back, they made sure that they got computers out to everybody that needed one. They wanted to make sure that everybody had access because they wanted the learning to continue, but they didn't want to have that be a deterrent for some children who may not be able to have, may not have the technology that they needed.
We've actually secured funding to make sure that every child in the 2021 school year receives their own laptop. So every child, whether we are in a virtual world or in a physical classroom environment, every child will have their own laptop to make sure they can use to access some of the best education possible.
It makes other people more comfortable when they see who's leading. I see a lot of Mr. Bass. To see the things that he's done in the community, to see the things that he is doing in the community, it really relieves some pressure on where my children are and what the foundation of the school is.
I think what's amazing about EastSide is the love that you find here in the school. I've worked in education for over 2 decades, and I have been many different places, and I've never seen more love and care and concern than I do in these hallowed halls. From our teachers that actually spend time not only working with students in the classroom, but will also engage with students outside of the classroom, to our mental health professionals that make sure that children of all different backgrounds will be successful, as well as to even in our honors program, making sure that our children are able to access some of the best options available. The love and the care that is in this building, I think, is second to none.
Revenge!
Thank you for joining me once again, Community Crossfire. I'm Aaron Bash, your host for this evening, and want to just tell you more about positive news taking place at EastSide Charter School. But we're sharing news about what young people are doing in Delaware and just how we're trying to just bring some positivity to it all. So with that, I'm going to talk with some of the alumni of EastSide Charter School and find out what's taking place now that they're gone, and then also talk about some that have even returned. I'm gonna start off with Miss Juneteenth. So Erin is an alumni of EastSide Charter, went to the Apex Honors Program. Erin, where do you go to high school now?
I go to high school at Howard High School of Technology, and I'm there for cosmetology.
Got it. Now, you have a crown on your head, so we have to talk about what the crown is about. So tell me about Miss Juneteenth.
Juneteenth is about the slaves becoming free when they found out they were free in Galveston, Texas in 1865. And also the whole pageant thing. So that was with the Delaware Juneteenth Association. And the pageant was fun. I learned a lot. So before the pageant, we have workshops and dance practice for the opening act and stuff. So we learned about Juneteenth itself, proper etiquette, practicing our walk, just pageant stuff, and just how to be proper in general.
So you had to compete against other people in the state of Delaware.
Yes.
And of all the people, you were the top person and became Miss Juneteenth.
Yes.
So now that you're representing Juneteenth and telling the history, and you have this crown for an entire year, correct?
Yes.
And what takes place next? So you stop at Miss Juneteenth for Delaware, or is there anything else you're doing after this?
After this, I compete at Nationals, which will be in Philly this year. So that will be October 14th. And you can find out more details on MissJuneteenthUSA.org.
That's amazing. And we've been bragging about different families involved. So your mother, where does your mom work, by the way?
She is now working at EastSide Charter.
That's amazing. So we've been talking about the fact that we have young people who are staff at the school, and we have staff at the school who now have their children at the school, and that's amazing to us because we're a community field. And it means something when you can have your own child go to an incredible school, and so that matters to us. I'm going to switch over to Noor. So Noor, you graduated 2 years ago? Almost your third
Was
year?
it that long ago?
I know, it's old. So you're entering your sophomore year now.
Yep.
In high school. Tell me about where you're going to high school.
I am going to high school at Tower Hill. And now you're going to ask me, how did I get there?
So how did you find out about Tower Hill?
Well, first of all, at Apex, they were really focused on trying to get kids like us into prestigious high schools and where we wanted to go, really, and shoot for higher dreams than just any high school. And after many shadow days, we did shadow days at Tower Hill, Friends, Sanford, and other private schools in the Wilmington, Delaware area. And I found out about Tower Hill, and I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool college prep school. Maybe I want to go here. And Apex really helped me with those shadow days especially, and getting to know the school, getting to know what I was getting myself into. And especially one place that Apex helped me was self-advocacy. I really learned how to advocate for myself and ask for help when I needed help, especially academically.
I love it. And so for the students at Apex and the honors program, you get a chance to spend time at those schools. Do you think if you had just gone to Tower Hill one day, that you would be prepared to understand what you're into right now?
Oh no, absolutely not. After multiple shadow days, we went at the second week of every month. So we would go every month to shadow at these schools and get to know the people. It was to the point where on my first orientation day at Tower Hill, I knew so many of the teachers there already from my shadow days that it wasn't very hard for me to be comfortable.
Do you think that you were your life has improved because you work with Apex, or what?
Oh yeah, definitely. When Apex started out, it was a smaller program than it is now, and it's grown so much throughout the years. And especially in my first 2 years in Apex, it was really small. It was a very close community. It was like a family. And especially with the teachers, the relationships that you build with your teachers are really important, and they even support you throughout high school. I'm still in contact with Mr. Webster and other teachers that I had in middle school that I can talk to now.
Wow. And Mr. Webster is here in the building, so we'll learn more about him. We're going to switch track a little bit and talk with the OG of the group right here. And so, who are you? Let's start with what name you want to use. Who are you?
I'm Giovanni Paredes, paraprofessional now at EastSide Charter.
And then what is your other name that you go by?
Young Sutter, hip-hop recording artist.
So you graduated from EastSide, and then you went off to high school. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school at William Penn, and then transferred over to Urban Promise Academy.
Love it. And then you jumped into hip-hop and spoken word.
Yeah.
And so tell me about that transition. How did that happen?
Yeah, so honestly, in middle school, when I was at EastSide Charter, I became close friends with a friend of mine named Zachary Flowers. Shout out to him. He was at EastSide with me, and he inspired me with his passion to become a music artist. So it kind of started, at ESCS.
So how did I get nervous in front of people? And I can't imagine being in middle school and you decide that you want to get into speaking in front of people, sharing your art in front of other people.
Yeah.
So how did that process happen?
I'm gonna be honest. I remember my first time performing in front of a crowd. It was actually on our 8th grade field trip every year. For the 8th graders, they do like an end of the year. It was when we had Dr. Brown as a principal. It's back in like 2013. I'm probably giving my age right now, but
I'm
yeah,
a little bit older than you, so it's okay. Yeah, you're good.
We went to the Bahamas. Mr. Medalio, which is my coworker now, which is crazy. He was my 8th grade teacher, and we had went there, and I was able to perform in front of a small crowd down there for the first time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so now, you've been Young Seta. I can find you on Spotify. I can find
Yes,
you on.
all
How do
of
I find
that.
out? Where do I find you? YouTube.
Youngseta.com. All of my music is on there. Everything.
Okay. And a new album just came out. What's the new album?
It's called A Riverside Story. Yes, sir.
Why is it called Riverside Story?
So I'm from the neighborhood. Growing up, I went my whole life at Eastside Charter, like literally 3 blocks away from my house. So it's just so much stories. It's historical, and I wanted to make an album for it.
So now you are educating young people at Eastside. You've made a decision that you have toured the globe and have done international rapping, and so the Bahamas and other places, and you have your album Riverside Story, but now you're also educating at Riverside. So tell me, why did you decide to go work at Eastside, the school you went to?
I remember back in 2019 when I was a reading tutor for Summer Collab. It was my first time back at Eastside as an adult, finished college, kind of wanting to know what I'm gonna do outside of my passion with music. And for that small amount of time before the pandemic, I connected with the 3rd graders, the 1st, the 2nd, and it was just so amazing, literally getting them to read at the level that they're supposed to be in during the summer. It was just so like, wow. I worked at different places as camp counselors and other tutors, but coming back to my home, like it was nothing like it. So I'm glad to be here.
And what is it like to work with, so your colleague, your peer is somebody who taught you?
Yeah.
That's gotta be strange. So what is that? Who Mr. Medalio, Ms. Whalen, Ms. Klein was there. So you have people that have been there for years. How does that feel to be a peer?
It feels great. I think I'm amongst a lot of good leaders, and I look forward to learning from them, kind of, I guess, being their student once again.
I love it. So all of you have decided that you stay connected with Eastside, you stay connected with Apex, you stay connected with our community, which I think for us is just normal, that you can always pop in and you can find people and connect with people at the school. Sometimes that's not a normal thing. So some schools might feel like you standoffish and you finish your time, so you're gone. What values have you taken from Eastside? What are some of the things that you have you like that you're seeing with some of the younger people? So I know that you have a sibling at Eastside, Noor. I know that Erin, you have siblings at Eastside right now, and so you're still connected and engaged with the community, and you're teaching there. So what are some things that you've taken from Eastside? And then what are some of the values that you still see, the positive things you still see taking place, being removed from it, but still being a part of the community? I'll let anybody answer.
I'll go first.
Go for it.
I learned more like how to express myself and be myself, and professionalism at the same time. Because when I first got into Apex, I didn't really know what to expect. It was a smaller group of people, like what Noor said. And it was just a lot to take in. So now that I missed Juneteenth, I could use what I learned to inform people about Eastside Charter and Apex today.
Love it.
So, yeah, back when I was going to Eastside, after my 8th grade, they would do something every year. I believe they still do it. It's like Eastside Charter. They do like something over the summer where there's like a barbecue cookout. They play games with the kids and stuff like that. I was able to perform in front of the crowd right after the Bahamas. Shout out Mr. Warren. He was working, T. Warren. And it exposed me to the people of my community using my voice, my talents. It gave me that hope that, okay, yeah, I'm from across the street, but, these people believe in me. Not have they taught me, not just only they taught me, but they gave me the platform to use my voice. So
That's amazing.
Yeah, I would like to add to what you two said. Good points. I would also like to just talk about, like, it just taught me that I have a voice, like you were saying too, and that I can, like, kind of be anything. I can go to any school I want to go to as long as I have my heart to it. And if that's where I want to go, I can get a scholarship, I can go there. Like going from Apex, Eastside to Tower Hill School, it was a big transition for me, but Apex really taught me that that's something I can do, and that's a goal that I can achieve, and that's a dream that I can reach.
And so everyone's goal is to come back and teach at Eastside. Is that what we're all committed to with the studio audience today?
I don't know about that.
No, about, okay.
I could visit.
Okay, come
I'll
visit.
visit sometimes.
And the key thing is, so the earlier group was sharing about how they've met some amazing people. So you had opportunities and going places, and I know some people met the president of the United States of America. Some people met Lisa Blunt Rochester, our representative. We met senators, so Carper and Coons. We've had authors. We've had a ton of different people come in. I think one of the greatest things we could ever see is that our alumni are coming back, because it's great to meet some famous people and do some amazing stuff, but it's also great to then find out that somebody's wearing a crown and I can be like her. Somebody's going to Tower Hill, or somebody has tracks on Spotify. So what is next for all of you? And so I know that many years from now, there's other things you want to do. So we'll talk about Miss Juneteenth. What is next for you after you win Miss Juneteenth in October in Philadelphia? So what's the career look like? What are your goals?
My goal is to keep going around and inform people about things that we don't learn in school. And I'm not sure career-wise, but I know that I want to be an entrepreneur. So.
I love it. Noor, talk to me. What some different options, and they can change in the future.
Well, I definitely want to go to college. With things that I've been like mostly interested, especially at Tower Hill, is like political science and psychology have really been like piquing my interest, and maybe studying that in college and like doing some further education.
I love it. Okay.
I'm looking forward to gaining more experience at Eastside Charter, continue to do my music to inspire people, especially the young people, and hopefully making a platform where I could give young people that opportunity like I had.
I love it. You all are inspiring us, and so I appreciate you for all that you continue to do, and also for continuing to be a part of the Eastside community. Again, you can find out more at eastsidecharterschool.org, or stop by and visit. We're kindergarten through 8th grade. Thank you all for being here, and here's a little bit more about what we're doing.
Success to me means we will have a phenomenal leader in this school long term, extraordinary teachers in every classroom, and that the students of Eastside Charter will be at or above grade level, feeling confident, self-assured, and eager to go on to their next challenge.
3, 4, 5.
Success at Eastside comes from our team, from our teachers, from everyone that's involved.
What makes it unique is the care. I know Aaron Bass, I know how he cares for the school, and it's evident in the programs that he brings.
I believe that education is a great tool to impact students in a really, really powerful, positive way.
That I think impressed me the most is that Eastside builds a sense of empowerment of community in the students themselves.
Additionally, they like the challenge. My son is being challenged now.
When I'm in class, I don't give up, and you keep on going till you get what you want. That makes me motivated.
It doesn't happen overnight. It happens day in, day out, and it has a huge impact.
The small victories that I see during guided reading is when I ask like a comprehension question and they can answer it, and it's really the interventions that we do actually are successful.
What I love about Eastside is that we get to express ourselves in like different type of ways.
It takes a while, but we're seeing it. And we can't wait to continue to do it.
Revenge!
Welcome back to Community Crossfire. I am Erin Bass, and I'm excited to talk more about EastSide and just positive things taking place here in Delaware. I'm joined by some of the staff that make everything take place in the Riverside area. And so with that, we're going to talk about what makes EastSide unique. We're going to talk about some of the joys and why people are here, and also talk about what's important for our educators in the state of Delaware, because that's why we're just having this conversation right now. And so I'm going to start off with Ms. Pike. If you could introduce yourself and what do you do at EastSide?
All right, hey everyone, my name's December Pike, better known as the Drama Queen. I do the performing arts at the school for EastSide. Been there rocking out for about 6 years now. So looking forward to this upcoming school year.
What are you doing this upcoming school year? What are some of the productions?
Well, some of the production we're going to do this year, we're going to do a hip hop version of the Pinocchio. And then also we're going to do a journey with Black history through spoken word. Last year we did the hip hop version of Wizard of Oz. We did Cinderella, and then we did another Black history production piece. So we're excited this year, for what's going to rock out next.
And then, so EastSide is kindergarten through 8th grade.
Yes.
Is it only the 8th graders that get a chance to be in these plays, these productions? What grades do you work with?
So I work with, of course, K to 8. So normally the productions consist of our middle school students, but also allow some of our lower school students to join a part of the productions and just recruiting that way. They have a love and passion just like everybody else. So I try to make sure that I diversify it, make sure I get a blend of all the age groups in there so we can have a rock out time, so I'm doing good.
And so you've been in drama, you've done work before EastSide, and you still do work in drama and theater all across the East Coast. When you work with a young person, what is exciting to you about a person that's picking up a script for the first time and going on stage for the first time and then presenting themselves to the world? What inspires you about that?
I think more so like the passion in their eyes, even just the curiosity. For myself, being that misunderstood girl from North Philly, always looking for that outlet, somewhere to be expressive, to vibe out, to find inspiration. And knowing that I get a chance to share that with young minds and, to see how the arts can be like inspirational, motivational for them. It gives them another outlook on, life and so forth. And then sometimes it births inside of them a creativity they didn't even know that they had in themselves. And, just being able to nurture that, to water that, to kind of take them, through the process of it all and just seeing the outcome. That's what always gets me hyped, just seeing that, where they started from and then going through the kinks, the process of it all, and just seeing them, shine bright on the stage. That's what gives me joy. That's the hypeness of it all for me.
I love it. And then what are the related arts team? What else is being offered at EastSide?
So we also have digital media as well at EastSide. We also have our visual arts program. And then, of course, we have, physical education that we're doing there. And we're real, tight-knit, with the related arts team. Our success is based off of each other. We collaborate. We support each other. A lot of the team are in the shows. They're designing props in the visual arts department. Our PE teacher, he's rocking out a different, characters. Last time he was a Tin Man, having fun with that. And even digital media helps out with our developing our flyers, our playbills, doing our headshots and so forth. So we're trying to give the students, a well-rounded experience. And just because we teach different subjects, it's a way for them to see that it all works together, in order to produce, the works that we're doing and also, to get the vision of it all out.
And you can check out more about the related arts team and how they're all coming together, and even some of the productions on the EastSide's Facebook page. I've seen some incredible productions there in person, but also looking at some of the social media, and thank you for all that you do.
Cool.
Yeah. Ms. Gimbel.
Yes.
Talk to me. So who are you and what do you do at EastSide?
I am Natalie Gimbel, and I am currently the math and science instructional coach at EastSide.
And so what are some of the different roles you've had at EastSide in your time there?
I think a little bit of everything. I started out as a second grade teacher, then spent about 4 years as a kindergarten teacher, ventured into third grade, and now venturing into the coaching side of things.
And so you've been a lot of different hats. Tell me what's unique about EastSide?
EastSide is truly a family. The staff, the kids, the families there. Everybody is so tightly knit together, and everyone just is all there for our students. And I think that makes it really special to work there and make me come back for 8 years now.
8 years. And then, so Eastside recently had our Welcome Back barbecue, and there were families that came out. And what does that feel like on the field when you have siblings? So there's lots of the kids at Eastside are family members. There's rarely one child that's there. There's always multiple siblings that are all a part of that because one child came and then multiple come. But what's the feeling when everyone's coming back to school?
It is really exciting. The students should feel like superstars. I think we are more excited to see them than they are to see us. And we're excited to see how many teeth have you lost? How tall are you now? And then to see the siblings that have been coming along to parent-teacher conferences or different events, and now they're officially Eastside students, and they're excited, and they can't wait to see. They've already picked out their teachers. You know, they already know what they're going to be doing this year. So it is a family event, and it's like seeing your family members after a long time.
Tell me about, during the pandemic, we had a number of teachers that were working with DETV and teaching. So we taught our own classes when the pandemic started. We shut down school, and our teachers were teaching virtually the first day. So we shut down on Friday the 13th, 2020, and our teachers were already instructing online that Monday. It's amazing. But then we also had teachers that came out to DETV and gave classes over here. So tell me about some of that. What was that like teaching in the studio even?
That was unique. We started with our pandemic teaching, posting videos of us teaching, which was great because I would dress up in different costumes and I was able to do different takes, and I was able to mess up. Nope, let's go back and try that again. So teaching live is a little different, just like in a classroom, you know. In the classroom, you make mistakes and only your students see it. On TV, you know, more than just your students see it. So, you know, unlike Miss Pike, who's used to being on a stage and in front of an audience every day, you know, it was a little stressful, but we got through it.
Like here at Community Crossfire.
Yeah.
Who are you? That's Mr. Webster? Or
I am Mr. Webster.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Mr. Webster, so who are you? What do you do at Eastside?
Well, I'm still Mr. Webster, and I am the assistant director at the Apex Honors Program, and I also teach social studies for Apex.
Teach social studies. You helped start Apex. So before Apex even existed, you were out spreading the word about Apex. What was that like? What did you do?
So what I did, years ago, before Apex started, with some conversations with you, I was the college and career counselor, and my role was working with our 7th and 8th graders to get them set up to the best high school of choice, and also to track graduates of Eastside and another school from Vision Academies. And over some conversations, what we found is there were a ton of really great students that just needed more access to opportunity. And so we looked at that, and I think seeing that on the end of meeting up with our graduates and then getting them into programs that were better suited for their kind of academic abilities. And we said, well, why don't we start this in middle school? So, I think kind of the conversation was, I think what we started with is kind of the dream that every educator has, that, when my students leave this program, they are able to have the qualifications and confidence to walk into any room and feel like they belong there, that they can do the work. And so that's kind of what every teacher wants. So that was part one, which is the day-to-day kind of experience at Apex. And then part two is, well, we want them to walk into any room. Let's clear a path to make sure that they are some of the best rooms in Delaware, that they are some of the best high schools in Delaware, that they are some of the best careers in Delaware. And we continue to kind of create everything around the students so that they can walk into any room with a President Biden, that they can walk into any room at Tower Hill and say, I belong here, and I know who I am, and I know I'm able to do the work. Because what we see, and I saw this with some of the graduates, was some of the graduates, they had the academic abilities, but they also needed kind of that confidence to say, I belong in this school and I can be at the top of the class, because for many of our students that went on to private schools, they are, for the first time in their education experience, a minority. And walking into a room and knowing that I know who I am, I'm confident, and regardless of who else is in the room, I know what I'm capable of. And they are blessed to have me if they're an Apex student.
Blessed. I love the ability. Tell me, what was it like to talk to a student to convince them to come to Apex when no program existed?
It was long. No, it was. I think talking to people about whether the program exists or not, because we didn't have like a brick and mortar building even at the time, but we did have $1 million endowment. So when people hear $1 million endowment for scholarships, they listen, they perk up a little bit. So talking to people, you know, even without the building, even to this day, we don't have our full building. We're not at home yet. We're waiting for a science hub to be finished construction. And again, when you tell people $20 million science hub, they perk up again. But when you talk to people about students specifically, or especially students of color, needing more access to opportunities, everyone knows what that is. So not having a building wasn't necessarily a detriment, because so many people in the community saw there is a great need for something like this. So in terms of talking to people, you know, I think some people were like, all right, so let me know when it gets up and running. But for the most part, knowing that the opportunities that we wanted to give students, parents were pretty on board. In fact, we had one of our first families were here today, the Khans.
And I'm even one of the first families. So my son, I had to convince my wife, who I love, to let me take our son and put him in something that we were experimenting on. And it has been amazing for him as well as many other students. And one thing you mentioned was about the endowment. What's amazing about EastSide, even before I got here, was that our students have access to $1 million that was invested for them that will pay for private schools. So we cannot touch that money. It can only be given to students that head off to independent schools. And so we're able to help with those needs. We have a lot of great partners out there. So they include the Blue Coats, they include Barclays, they include NASA, they include a lot of other people. Our students have access, and our adults have access to some incredible opportunities. And so what's something that you enjoy about EastSide, Ms. Gimbel, some of the perks?
Oh, one of the best perks is our Blue Coats tickets. We love the Blue Coats. We have about a group of 4 of us that probably go to almost all of the home games. It's a great time, and we've also brought our students out there, and some of our students were honored at halftime on court. So it's a great partnership, and hope that we can continue that for many seasons to come.
And so for teachers out there that are looking for a place they want to also educate, what's one word to describe your teaching experience at EastSide?
Fulfilling.
Fulfilling.
Relationships.
Driven.
Love it. Thank you for spending your evening with me on Community Crossfire. Again, so appreciative of Norman Oliver and Xanthia Oliver for this opportunity. We want to share good news. We want to tell people about what's taking place in Delaware, not just about EastSide Charter School, but about the relationships, the partnerships, and what can be true for so many young people and for adults. I got to tell you, I'm inspired by the work being done by WRK, by Nerd It Now, our neighborhood partners, as we revitalize an entire community and also make sure that we're focusing on what education can be like, what community can be like, and what a state and county and city can do when we put our resources together to empower people. Come on out and visit us, eastsidecharterschool.org. I appreciate being here. Thank you so much.
I'm mad. Got to get back. I need some get back.